Good day buddies, I hope this find you great as always. We made this video about test tube alternatives in the past, and they're working really fine. But just one downside of it is the low visibility caused by the source cups that we use. So, upon stumbling across with this containers online, I've imagined right away that we can make a great founding ant farms using them, which will offer a much greater visibility. We'll just proceed and mark where to drill the nest entrance. Just a little tip buddies, when making small ant farms like this, there's no need to drill an additional hole for ventilation, as it will make the nest too dry, as the entrance will serve as the vent as well. I'll be making lots of this nest, as we'll be giving away at least 7 pieces of this bigger ones. Everyone can join, and for a chance to win them buddy, just like and share this video, then comment your answer to the question. What will I do next to the ant farms we're making on this video? I'll be making more than a dozen, and 7 will be given away. So I'm asking, what will I do to the remaining ant farms? If ever someone get it exactly right, I'll send the whole set to the first one to answer. But if there's no one to guess it exactly, we'll be sending them to our buddies which have the nearest answers. So best of luck, just watch the video for more hidden clues that I won't be feeding. I bought 2 dozens of this containers, so we're making a lot. To make our job easier, we'll be using this scrap sinter boards to make chamber molds. So, making tons of nest will be much faster. I just trace the size of the container, then cut it. Using super glue, we'll just bond it with another piece of sinter board. Then cut the excessive parts to make the circle. We're just going to repeat the process until we achieve the desired thickness. Anyway, the thickness will be the depth of the nest chambers. I think this is good enough, and we're gonna have a nice base flooring as well. Then we'll just draw guides for the chambers. After that we need to grind the circumference of the mold a little bit, so it would fit exactly inside. Just like this. Then we proceed carving the chambers using the same method that we did on this wooden nest build for our acrobat ant colony. For easier job of lifting the molds, we cut pieces of sinter and glue them. This way, removing them will be easy peasy. Now that we're done with the mold, let's proceed with the nest making. We'll start by securing a space for hydration, using a moist sand. Just make sure it's a line on the hydration port that you designed. In my case it's here on the middle. That's enough for the hydration, but you'll see, it will expand later on the build. Then let's proceed and pour the base layer of sanded grout all around the sand, just like this. Then set the chamber mold that we made earlier. Just fill it with moist sand. Don't make it too compact, or too loose. Just fill it with the right amount to take the shape of the chambers. After filling it, we can now slowly raise the mold, and if the sand comes along, feel free to push it down to make sure the sand will be left inside the container. Anyway, since we only got one nest entrance, we need to connect the chambers by filling the gap in between with moist sand. This way the ants could access both of the chambers. Don't forget to secure the entrance by setting a tubing, before we proceed and fill the remaining free space with sanded grout. It's a little hard on filling the outer walls, given the space is a little tight. So you can freely make it wider while making your own mold, so filling it will be easier. But I don't really mind this one, as the container acrylic walls will be enough to keep the ants contained. So I don't really effort to make the grout walls thicker. You can use a stick to eliminate visible air pockets like this all around. After that we just put the lid. Then flip it over. We'll just tap it a little bit to make sure the chamber walls will reach, and kiss the lid. As I'm telling you earlier buddies, the hydration chamber expanded as we flipped the whole nest. We also did the same procedure to the smaller containers, with a thread lid. We'll just letting them dry for at least 48 hours. And before we check the outcome of the builds, let me also say welcome back buddies. And for those new to the channel, you're also welcome to Decolony. On this specific build, it's important to let it dry for at least 48 hours before opening the nest. To make sure it's hard enough, and have a flawless edges like this. Let me show you what will happen if we open it in just 24 hours. We're gonna have unwanted chipped outs on some of the edges like this. It won't affect the overall functionality of the nest, but it won't look good as well. Don't worry about the giveaways buddies, as I'll make sure the set we are sending had no chipped outs. As of filming this part, they're already drying in the corner. Anyway, what we're gonna do next, is obviously remove the sand inside. Then just easily chip the unwanted thin layers of grout, that spreads when we flipped it over to level it to the lid. This can be done easily, as we'll just, revealing the chambers made by the sand. Just rinse it with water, and it's done. But I think we made the chambers a little too deep, which is not bad for most ant keepers as deeper chambers will accommodate more ants. But for the likes of me who film his pet ant colonies, it will make clear shots harder to achieve. So what I'm going to do next is reduce the depth of the chambers. We'll do it simply by raising the level of the flooring using sanded grout. After we got the desired depth, we'll just top it with sand for a rougher texture. And here how it looks after they completely dried. They turned out pretty nice. We just drilled a hole on the lid for the hydration. Insert, and cut a 4mm straw. Then just blocked it with a silicone plug. You can fill half of the hydration port with sand, sponge, or any hydration media. Or even without those, it will still work fine, as the water injected here will be absorbed easily by the nest made of sanded grout. Anyway, the set we're giving away will also come with this silicone plugs on the entrance, so you can just stock them freely if you're not yet going to use the nest. Before we end the video, I'd like to show you this one. On this nest I carved open the center, so the ants could access them for more space. We still have the hydration port below, just covered by the flooring. As we can see here, unlike the other nest which the hydration straw is surrounded by a thick grout walls, here, it will be exposed to the ants. I did it since I wanna find out what will be the ants' reaction to it. On will they be able to break out because of this design? We'll find it out soon as we'll use this setup immediately. Let's see if this type of hydration will be useful enough for more space, or will just provide weakness to the nest. Anyway, stay tuned to our next long-form video buddies, as we'll be revealing the winner, or might be winners of the giveaway. As we'll also reveal the answer to the question, or what I did to this ant farms next. Good luck to each and everyone who's participating. I just hope you have learned something from this video, guys. Be a genie for the first time, by granting my wish and tapping the like and share button. That would help a lot. This is D Colony, saying goodbye for now, but hoping to see you on my next videos.